Good evening and welcome to the Cardinal Way for Men Live. My name is Ed Cardinal. In tonight's topic, I want to talk about how to improve your intimate relationships. Now I'm going to have a disclaimer here because I am in no means an expert. I've learned a lot from my mistakes and I still have a lot to learn about improving my relationships with my relationship with my wife and also with my close, intimate friends. They say that love is the fuel of the soul and that our intimate relationships feed our passions, our dreams, and our desires, and they make us feel good about ourselves and make us love ourselves. And that also should be the case with what we give to our significant others. We should support their dreams, we should support their passions and their desires. One thing I have learned in my relationship with my wife, that there is definitely a difference between the way men and women communicate. And this is helpful because it's going to help improve It's helped improve my relationship because I've accepted those differences. And the differences that I've noticed is that my wife likes to, and I think this is the case with a lot of women, she likes to talk things out as far as the processes she's dealing with in her head. She likes to verbalize them and vocalize them. Whereas myself, and I believe this is the way it is with a lot of men, we're action-oriented, we're doers, and we're also fixers. When my wife is struggling with things, I want to try to fix them, and that's not what she's asking me to do. She'll be able to, through her process, work through the challenges that she has. She doesn't need me to fix anything. I need to focus on myself. Recently, took a training with Tony Robbins, and he did a little segment with his wife on relationships. And he talks about, and I'm going to share this with you, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And these are roadblocks that you can have in your relationships and mindsets you can have in your relationships. But he also gave the antidote to those roadblocks. And the first one is criticism and blaming. This kills relationships. This is something I know that I've needed to work on and I need to continue to work on. It's the blaming. I like to play the blaming game. And I think this is something that I learned from my family. The antidote is admiration, and talk about your feelings and use I statements. And this is going to be a difficult thing for most men, but with practice, and you need to practice this because it's important to practice, because it's going to help not only improve your relationships with your partners, but it's also going to improve your own health by expressing your feelings and emotions. Number 2, contempt, disrespect, sarcasm. The antidote for this is appreciation and gratitude. So sharing with your partner the things that you appreciate about them, the things that you're grateful about them, but also remember the things and think about the things that you appreciate about your partners. Number 3, defensiveness, making excuses, playing the victim. And the antidote is taking responsibility. So taking 100% responsibility for your life. And actually this can go back to the blaming. When you take 100% responsibility, and when I take 100% responsibility for my life, I can't blame anymore. Number 4, stonewalling, which means withdrawing, closing down. This is a big one for men, and this is a big one for me that I've had to work on. An antidote would be taking a break. For me, It's learning to be a better listener instead of tuning out, which I sometimes had a tendency to do with my wife when she was talking things through. I would sort of zone out and go somewhere else. I wouldn't be a good listener. I wouldn't be totally present. So that's something that I'm working on regarding this stonewalling. Don't interrupt during those conversations is another important thing. So when you're a good listener, you're not interrupting, you're actually listening and you're present. So before you speak, and I heard this during my yoga teacher training, and I also just heard it again in a podcast with Deepak Chopra. And there's 4 things that you need to ask yourself before you speak. And this is not easy. Number 1 is it necessary? What I'm going to say, is it necessary? Is it helpful? Will it create joy? Number 4, will it create healing? Those are a lot of questions to ask yourself before you speak. But if you remain present and not caught up in the emotion of the moment of the discussion that you're having, whether it's an argument or whatever it is, but if you can keep those questions in the front of your mind, that is definitely going to improve your relationships. What's also going to improve your relationships is each week spending time alone. That's important. Spending time away from each other, time for yourself to do the things that you like to do, then spending time with each other. Dedicated time. My wife and I have a date night. She makes great popcorn, watch a movie, but it's also important to mix it up and not do the same thing all the time. So learn a new activity together. One time we took salsa dance lessons. Another time with a friend who was a potter, she was teaching us how to make pottery. The pottery that my wife made compared to what I made, she was a natural. It was beautiful. What I made was unrecognizable. I thought it would be much better, but she definitely, I don't know if it's because I didn't have the patience or what, but it was a great time that we spent together learning something new. Also, you want to have personal time with friends. So myself with my friends, and personal time with my wife and our mutual friends is also important. So those things you want to do on a regular basis. One other trap you might fall into after you've been with your partner, your significant other for a long time, is there's that love, what's called familiarity, where you start to take that person for granted. And this is common. I know I've experienced it. Make sure that you're always telling your partner that you love them. Affection is important. And those 2 things I'm generally pretty good at. But what I do need to work on is the special gifts. My wife likes flowers, so occasionally bringing home flowers for her, and that really lights her up. It brings her a lot of joy. So why not to do something so small that brings so much joy to her and means a lot to her. So those are a lot of different things that you can do to improve your relationships. I hope it was helpful. If it was, please drop a yes below in the comments. And until you see me again, be well. Take care. Bye-bye.